additions to the wide receiving core for the Browns, including Elijah Moore. Here is the guys from the NFL Scouting, the Locked On NFL Scouting podcast about the Browns wide receiving core.
I'm intrigued with Elijah Moore coming over. I think we all are. Flashy production with the Jets, but between whatever was going on with the rift he had with the coaching staff, bad quarterback play for 2 years, I think there's a lot more ceiling for him to unlock. Donovan Peoples-Jones went out and had like 800 yards last year. There's some depth here. Marquise Goodwin, a veteran. Cedric Tillman, a recent draft pick from this past year who's got a lot of ability. See if they can get something from Jakeem Grant, who they gave a 3-year contract to and coming off an Achilles injury. David Bell. Yeah, there's options here, and maybe Hop's on the way.
And there you go again. They like DeAndre Hopkins, and they're connecting dots. The one thing, and Browns fans get very upset about it, Donovan Peoples-Jones may play his way to a contract that the Browns don't feel comfortable giving him.
Yeah, and then it becomes a this or that situation to where if he does play himself into that stratosphere where he, has 1,100 yards and 7 touchdowns, but they have to make a decision. If they want to keep him, they probably have to move off Amari Cooper, and it just becomes a tenuous situation. And I could see a very real outcome where you could see those kind of numbers for DPJ this coming year. But they've also insulated themselves by drafting Cedric Tillman to have a guy who could just take the place of a Donovan Peoples-Jones if things play out accordingly. And then like going and getting an Elijah Moore, kind of a jack of all trades, can kind of do a little bit of everything. They've stacked themselves up for any kind of eventuality. If DPJ plays himself out, they can pivot to Tillman in that role. If they decide to go with DPJ and move away from Cooper, you can slide Elijah Moore out that way. I think it's one of the most underrated things Barry's done this offseason is get younger, get faster, but most importantly, be more versatile so they can handle these situations as they come down the line.
And the fan base isn't used to having to make these decisions because this is a talented roster where people are going to play their way into paydays with second contracts. We haven't had to deal with that in quite a while. So, again, these are all normal things that happen with good franchises. The Browns, they have the talent. They got to go get some wins on the football field because they're on their way to being a pretty good franchise.